Okay. Well. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Oh. Matt Damon on the statue of Robin Williams. Ooh, and it's a bronze statue too. Oh. Yes. There are two types of end game and Warframe. Don't tell me it's supposed to be the fashion and some other one. Okay. Cantonese speaker and Mandarin. When Doki speaks Cantonese and Hero speaks Mandarin, they can understand each other. Well, their language isn't that different. There's probably like some words that are a bit different from another, but the language isn't completely different from Mandarin and Cantonese. Do people not know this? Like I don't know to what degree of like what's the total words is different. But I'm pretty sure the words aren't that exactly like majorly different. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, which one should I see first? All right, maybe I should see mindsets first. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is the actual video. Okay. Ah. Ah. Hey, Williams, what's up, man? How you doing? Ah. What's up, Williams? How you doing? All right. Well, there it is. Ah. All right. You ready, Williams? You ready? I gotta know. You ready, Williams? Since sending elections does that count? Yeah, I knew there was gonna be. I knew there was gonna be an actual video about it. He usually does both. He usually does like both the live stream and the like either it's a super cut or he just does a um uh like a up an upload version of it or something like that. Or maybe he just redoes of what he just saw. So yeah. So yeah. What do you want, Williams? What do you want? Is there something you want? The thank you. Oh, I mean, I could, I could, but nah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Williams. All right, you get what is it? You ready? You ready? All right, here it goes. Thank you, or better yet, here's a better one. Thank you, Williams. Is that good? All right, all right. Let's check this video out by legal mindset. This is gonna be either it's gonna be two things. Either he thinks Mizkif is gonna win, or he thinks he's gonna lose, or maybe in the middle. But from what I've seen, I think I saw like a brief clip of it or something. I think he did see that. I believe he did say that Mizkif was gonna hilariously lose, even though it's right here in the title. But I saw a clip of it before.
Mizkif's lawsuit is hilariously bad. Today we're breaking it down on the legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney in America, and we're going to break this down for you today. It's good to be back. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I've been doing some traveling. I'm back in the States for a little bit, and I'm very excited to be coming back with this topic, something I predicted in my last review of the Mizkif versus Emaru kind of drama, which was drama then, but it's legal now. There's a lawsuit now, and this is something that is absolutely going to blow back on Mizkif, and we're going to get into that today. Of course, I've got a PowerPoint as we get into this Fast Facts version. If you like the Fast Facts, if you like this format, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, let me know you love the Fast Facts, and let me know you're glad that I'm back. So this is Mizkif versus effectively everyone. Now, I know not everyone on the internet is named in this, but all the big players are in this. And we're going to go over the parties first so you guys understand the background for this lawsuit and what's going on here today. So obviously, a couple disclaimers up front. This is something that I wanted to break down. First of all, this is a public court document. I know that there's an unredacted version. Anybody can go out there and find the unredacted version with all the names, everything else. I have chosen to take selections for the Fast Facts and to redact them. However, once again, all this stuff is now public. One thing about a lawsuit is it all becomes public. Everything becomes public, which is why things are going to be very, very interesting. One fun fact was I don't believe Mizkif is using his legal name or real name. I believe he's using a previous name because I've seen other lawsuits where he uses a different name. So regardless, if he's using a fake name, that's going to come out. The real name will come out, particularly in a response by the defendants, Emaru, Asmongold, OTK, Mythic. That's going to come out.
The weird thing is that one of the parts I thought was a little bit interesting is that like why is he suing Mythic? Because they're under the umbrella. That's it. But like he has an issue with OTK, but I think he was also signed with Mythic as well. But even with that one, I thought it was a little bit strange because I believe he was paid out for Mythic anyway. So I don't know.
One other big thing is I am obviously represented by
I
Mythic,
don't know, but we'll see.
I do not represent or speak for Mythic. I'm not their lawyer. I'm not their representative. I don't speak for Asmongold, Emaru, anybody else, OTK. I'm speaking for myself. And one of the things that I do appreciate, and I want to give a little bit of thanks to Mythic on this, is I actually had this conversation with them before I ended up signing with them, saying, hey, look, if anything comes out involving a lawsuit, I'm going to cover it. Now I'm going to do it as I always do, neutrally, based on the facts, based on the law, telling you the way it is or the way it isn't. And that's just the way it's going to be for me. And that's always how it's going to be for me. But they did not put any caps or restraints on what I said or how I speak, particularly
Wait, he signed with Mythic? Since when?
as it involves the facts of the law. So I'm not representing anybody and just throwing it out there. The last thing is, I am going to make some bold statements here. I do say his lawsuit is hilariously bad, but court cases are always unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Even if there's a 99% chance that he loses, hey, there's a 1% chance out there. Judges can be crazy. Things can be crazy.
True.
Things can happen in unexpected ways. So just got to throw that out there so that everybody knows that, once again, I'm honest about how things shake up in court. So let's get into it. Who are the parties? Obviously, Mizkif here. Oh my gosh, this guy, what a clown. So he is claiming all sorts of damages here in terms.
Bro, dude, I'll be honest with you. That photo where you see Mizkif at that one party, I think it's the one where he's crying about Emiru. I'll be for real. I did not know this nigga's eyes look like this. Cause bro, when you saw when that clip, there's a freeze frame on that clip where you could see his eyes super dilated. Like his eyes are super dilated, which I'm like, bro, bright lights and all that shit, you know, it was basic. I don't know where they're at, but I assume it's some sort of like club or some shit like that, or something, or some sort of like streamer party or whatever the fuck. But dude, your eyes would not be dilated like that. His eyes were like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus.
In terms of reputational harm, loss of business goodwill, loss of earnings, future earning potential, emotional distress, and mental anguish. Oh, mental anguish. Did those plushies hurt your soul, Mizkif? Did those plushies destroy you? I know you got the big Donkey Kong back there, but you're really baby Yoshi energy. Listen, Mizkif is going to destroy himself legally, financially, and reputationally in this. And I am going to be here to cover it all the entire way. So I'll say it once, and I'm going to say it again. Thank you, Mizkif, for the infinite content here. Obviously, we have Emiru, Emmy here. She obviously was key to the accusations involving, obviously, some emotional, physical, potentially sexual allegations against Mr. Mizkif. And that's going to be.
Oh, yeah, that dude. If that right there, like, here's the thing. Like, I think that there would be difficult to prove, like, in courts or something like that, like, or something like that happen or whatever. Because it's like, was it actual assault? Was it not? Or I don't know. I think that would be very difficult, and I think that will probably end up going nowhere.
Be key to what's going on here. But backed up on that and in the lawsuit is the Roach King himself, Asmongold. He's in this in the defamatory context, claiming that his statements are defamatory. That's what Mizkif is going after. So he's pulled into this as well. And mind you, both Emmy and Asmongold would be key to the discovery here, and both of them would be deposed, which means they're going to get questioned, and all those things, including all those things Asmongold said he kind of doesn't want to talk about yet. Yeah, he's going to have to talk about those eventually when he's asked questions by his lawyers and by Mizkif's lawyers.
Well, he doesn't want to talk about it from the public, you know, to the public. But yes, this will ultimately be talked about in the court of law. Absolutely, because he has to. When you are indicted, when you are whatever, you have to tell the stories.
So all those stories and all those things he says he has are going to come out. Now, he may not want to tell them right away, and I respect his decision. Obviously, he's a thoughtful guy, and he's thinking about this carefully. But all those things are going to come out as he is now a named defendant. Another named defendant, Mythic Talent, of course, once again, my talent agency, but once again, I'm not personally involved in this, but they're brought into this for contractual side as well as OTK as a corporate unit. Obviously, they all had some ownership stakes in this. They all had a share in this. So obviously, depriving Mizkif of his shares is one of the claims at stake here. So let's get into this lawsuit. So first, we have breach of contract. Now, this is the strongest possible claim. Now, why do I say strongest possible? Because we don't have the entire contract. Now, I can speculate on what that is based on, number one, my experience with these types of contracts, and number two, having written some types of contracts like this myself. As you guys may or may not know, I'm a corporate lawyer. I have reviewed a lot of corporate agreements. So I can very much imagine what's going on here. And the strongest argument that he does have, and this is me being honest and upfront, is that there might be some breach of contract until we see the contract. My argument here, in my kind of thoughts for OTK in general, would be release the contract. It's going to come out as part of discovery. It's going to come out as part of this process. So one thing I would want to see, and once again, they can release this privately, publicly, whatever, it's going to come out as part of the lawsuit, is to get this particular agreement. So what is he saying? He's saying that, hey, they ousted him from ownership without breach or default. And now what that is saying is he had no notice, he had no reason to know he was going to be kicked out of OTK. Well, by his own admission and by the filing of the letter, which they previously sent him, in fact, he was on notice. He already had a strike. They could have removed him for just that, but they decided not to. So this, to me, despite being his strongest possible claim, is fundamentally flawed by his own evidence, by the evidence that he's submitted himself. So saying that he's divested with no breach or notice is, in fact, countered by what he submitted, which we'll look at later. The next count is defamation. Now, this one is one you guys can obviously are familiar with. We've covered a lot of defamation cases on my channel. So he's saying that essentially the two main defendants, which are essentially Emeru and Asmongold, have defamed him with untrue statements, et cetera, and have published these to millions and millions of people. Now, the big problem with defamation is that you're going to need to prove it at the actual malice phase. And with actual malice.
And here's the thing, defamation is not an easy thing to prove. It is very not. Some people may say, oh, look what they said about Mizkif. The thing about it is that Mizkif as a whole has been spiraling. You know, he has been. His reputation, his audience, his net worth and all that has been going down. Even way before this whole thing happened, before Emeru blew this whole thing open, he's been spiraling. So could he actually prove, because of what they did, that he had financial loss and some other stuff? I don't. It'd be difficult, but yeah.
Means that they actually had a high standard of malice against you, not just they said something that they were mistaken about, but they knew it was wrong and they had actual malice. That's going to be hard. The last one, count 3, is declaratory judgment against OTK, Mythic, and King, which essentially is saying, hey, look, these guys breached their agreements, breached their bonds that they had over the management fees. So these management fees were not owed. And these were unlawful, so that's a breach there to divest the plaintiff Mizkif of his interest in the company. So those are the three main claims there. So my analysis of those three claims is that the breach of contract is once again the strongest, but it's entirely based on the contract. The letter from OTK hurts Mizkif's case. That's going to absolutely damage him and damage his ability to go forward on this.
Yep.
Defamation is the most idiotic. Why is it the most idiotic? Because it opens up discovery. Discovery means every single email, Discord message, WhatsApp, text message, anything, Signal, whatever else is out there, all of that is going to come out against Mizkif. And not only that, but he's opened up all of his finances. So all of his money, everything else is going to be coming out for all the world and God to see, for everybody to say, hey, what's going on with Mizkif? What is wrong here? How much money did he actually lose? And did he lose that money because of these statements? Well, that's going to be really, really hard to prove, to show that, hey, because of these statements, I've lost revenue. How about you've been losing revenue because you've been, sucking lately, bro, right? You've been on a downtrend. You've been on a spiral. You've always been having trouble with views, having trouble with numbers. Everybody's numbers are down. So how are you hurt specifically, bro?
The thing about it is that, here's the thing, you can prove here's the thing, it'd be more easier if he can prove defamation if it was more like later down the line, instead of it being like a week ago or some shit, like, night. But he will have to prove that, because since it's been such a short amount of time, I think it would be very difficult to prove that for what this defamation did, it would, would essentially show or prove that, oh, this did have a impact on his career, on him making money and things like that. But again, like, if you really think about it, everyone's been doing bad, everyone's been going down and things like that. So it's understandable why he says all this, um why he says these things, because granted, it's not only Mizkif that's been going down on the revenue and things like that on Twitch. Everyone has. So to prove that, yeah, it could prove difficult, really.
And how are you going to prove that this is, once again, actual malice? This is something where they knew what they were saying was false and they said it maliciously. I think that is something he's just not going to get to. And beyond that, there's seems to be proof and seems to be enough evidence that a lot of what was said was the tip of the iceberg. In fact, there's much more that people don't know about Mizkif that's going to come out. So all those naughty stories from those parties that he went to, once again, parties that content creators should be well advised to be very, very careful at, because these things can come back and bite you. So all of that's going to come out. All of his bad shenanigans at parties, all of his behavior, all of his conduct, that's going to come out. So all of that is going to weigh against them actually actively lying in a malicious way. The last is declaratory judgment, which I think is based upon the contract. Once again, the OTK letter, I think, hurts Mizkif here. But if the contract is pretty clear with giving them ability to breach, which, once again, common corporate language, common corporate contracts, any corporate lawyer would know this, like myself, anybody else. There are reputational clauses. If you hurt the reputation of a company, they can terminate you. That's been a thing forever. That's always been a thing.
True.
So the fact that he thinks he can get away with that, the fact he thinks that, hey, that reputation doesn't matter for a company, no, that's very, very standard. That's very, very ad forma or pro forma, sorry. It's something that every company is going to want to get rid of somebody if they're a problem or look like a problem, and that's a standard clause.
Yes. Honestly, I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it. You're telling me that if a company will see something like Mizkif and think, oh, he could, what is it? He could stay on board. I'd be for real. I don't think I don't think I would keep him on board, to be honest. Even I wouldn't, because I'd be like, no, this dude is volatile. Like, well, that's a perfect way to describe Mizkif. He's volatile. You don't know if he's going to be great for the company or he's going to be god awful for the company. So honestly, even I wouldn't keep him.
Almost everybody, every employee out there in modern corporate America has some sort of reputational clause. So I think for the breach of contract and for the declaratory judgment, I think he's going to have a real uphill battle there. And let's look at the letter here. This is very interesting. So this is something that was also included. He submitted this. Mizkif submitted this, that he had a notice on or about November 6, 2023, that he, from OTK, there's a notice of termination and repurchase. So he was already on notice. So trying to say that he had no notice literally goes against the own evidence that he submitted. I don't understand how stupid you can be and how hilariously dumb you can be to say, hey, I had no notice except for this letter where they already put me on notice for multiple instances. Let's read the language here.
Yeah, this is exactly what I saw too. Because I'm like, yeah, even when I saw this last night, from the previous stream, even I was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sort of sense, because when you have these quotes out there, which of course I did see the clip of him saying these things, and on top, it's not it's not included on here, but he proceeded, but after, I believe it's the first quote, which is, I'm gonna start being a solo streamer, I never needed anybody, they need me. He proceeded to imagine his hand, pointing like a finger gun, specifically an Uzi, and proceeded to go brap brap. I mean, I'm just saying, if I was a company and saw that, oh yeah, your ass would be terminated immediately.
reference to your course of misconduct, including multiple instances of unwanted physical contact and violence. And violence. So he was on notice for unwanted physical contact and violence. This is before the quote unquote mounting of Emaru, which happened more recently. And this is, once again, as of January 24, 2025. So they already had this updated notice, and he's already was put on notice. And once again, let's read these comments, because these comments in and of themselves, which he previously made, would have been more than enough to terminate him.
Oh, thank you.
F streamers, F them all, F everybody, F FaZe Clan, F the fourth floor, F OTK, F everybody. I'm going to start being a solo streamer. I've never needed anybody. They needed me. First of all, how desperate is that? How beta is that? How soy is that? You don't need me. You need me. No, sorry. No.
I never needed anybody. They needed me, bro. Please insert the clip when Senna revealed that Mizkif begged her to be, to do a collab. Oh, bro, I remember when I saw that, I was like, bro.
Nobody needs your tough, I can't even handle a plushie self, bro. That is more than enough to say, if you're saying F your company, for them to terminate you. That's more than enough. And then going on beyond that, saying OTK failed miserably. Nobody wanted to buy it. It didn't make sense for anyone to ever purchase OTK or to run and operate OTK. So now OTK is very small. Put together, this alone would have been enough. So he's already defeated, I think, a lot of that argument for declaratory and for breach of contract just by his own evidence, which, once again, how many brain cells do you have? And lawyers are willing to file a lot of things, even if there's lack of a real strong, reasonable basis. And based on the short form of this lawsuit, it's very short. There's not a long lawsuit. These clips that I've got you on this in this short, fast facts are actually the beef of what's going on here. This is not much, but all of it that we see kind of weighs against Mizkif, which to me, it just boggles the mind. So my conclusion here, and this is something I'll go into more detail on my live. You can get into my live and jump in on that as well. But I think this is going to destroy Mizkif legally, financially, and reputationally. In fact, if he wanted to have a good case, he would have a better case against Gucci Marks for his kind of representation of him in the deep fake, etc.
Who the hell's Gucci Mark?
Case. But
who the hell
this
is that?
case against Asmongold, Emaru, OTK, Mythic, it's not going to do well. But on Mythic and OTK's side, I think they should release the contract in full text. Release the contract, like the Kraken. Just release it. It's going to come out in Discovery anyway, so we might as well get that contract. We might as well see, hey, what's the legal basis here? Because I guarantee you there's going to be a reasonable basis to terminate him. But the last thing I want to conclude on here is thank you for the infinite content, Mizkif. This is the Christmas gift come early, the Thanksgiving gift, and I am absolutely grateful for you for that. But guys, I want to know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
How does he always do this? He always cuts off his thing so much more earlier. But yeah, honestly, could Mizkif win this? It certainly would be a steep hill for him to win this on. But certainly it will be difficult for him to win any of these things, because one of the things that I thought it was pretty interesting was that they said that they shorted him or they didn't pay him out from his thing, even though there was a thing out on that same thing that says that he was paid out from his shares from the company and stuff, which wasn't even a lot. I think it was like 200,000. I know some people may say 200,000, like damn, but here's the thing: this dude had 1.1 million shares, so that meant that at least like each share was roughly like 20-ish cents per share. So imagine having that many shares in the company, and they're like, oh yeah, they're worth like fucking like 20 cents. So yeah, there's that. So at least, so there's that where when I saw this, I thought, oh, okay, so they didn't straight up just take his money. They didn't straight up just take his shares. Honestly, they legally can't even do it anyway. So yeah. But yeah, so good luck to him, right? Good luck to Mizkif winning on that lawsuit, but yeah. Anyway, let's see this next video.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here.
He's suing Asmongold. Emiru's about to lose everything.
So today we have some very big updates regarding the Emiru and Mizkif situation. It appears that some new parties have been dragged into this situation, and the results of this are going to be, at the very least, chaotic, and I also know probably very entertaining, and it's going to provide a lot of content for me and many others over the coming months, if not years. So before we get into the new stuff, quick recap of events. So the popular streamer Emiru recently came out with a stream and an accompanying YouTube video where she made some very serious allegations against the streamer Mizkif, accusing him of of attempting to blackmail her, harassments, even in some cases driving 150 miles an hour down the highway with her stuck in the passenger seat because he wanted to end his life because he didn't get a Mr. Beast collaboration, a bunch of really serious stuff. And Mizkif shortly after would make a stream responding where he, ironically enough, as you'll see in just a second with today's updates, pretty much confirms the vast majority of the things she said. But his response was, number one, you didn't feed your bunnies well. And number two, she threw plushies at me. Yes, that was his real defense to everything. Sometimes she would throw plushies at him. Yeah, not great. But of course, this is something...
Bro, she really loves Kirby. Like, holy shit.
That was a part of his going nuclear. Because apparently at TwitchCon, he talked to someone on Emiru's team, and he said he's going to drop some nukes on her and go nuclear if she does anything publicly involved in this situation. And apparently, that involves a lawsuit.
You know what's an interesting thing to me is that how is it that someone would how can someone that would say this, even though, like, did he even know that something was brewing in the background? Like, did he know? Like, how would he even know that there's something going on of anything brewing of Emiru and things like that? You know, of her coming out about something. It's like, why would you suddenly say this?
Now that she's actually made the statements, you can see he's changed his bio on Twitter. He removed all of his major sponsors, and he says, still owner now in lawsuits. So this is actually something that Emiru predicted in her video where she talked about the allegations against Mizkif.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about.
Yeah, this was very predictable. I think a guy like Mizkif and his history of behavior, this was going to be his response. Even if it's going to destroy him in the process, he wants to control the narrative, and his ego's been wounded, and he's going to respond accordingly. Also, this is going to be very, very funny for us and very, very embarrassing for him, most likely. Okay, this guy has a history.
Dude, Discovery is going to be so amazing.
A well-known reputation in the streaming scene for being an unhinged maniac who says some crazy things both publicly and especially in private. And if this does go to trial, Discovery is going to expose all the relevant communications between Emiru and Mizkif, and I invite that, and Emiru seems to invite that because she seems like she has nothing to hide. She invites this going to trial so she can expose him even further. But let's not stop with the communications between Emiru and Mizkif. Let's add some new parties. Yup, this lawsuit isn't just at Emiru. He also included Asmongold, OTK, Mythic Talent, and King Gaming Labs. Yup, he has gone fully nuclear, I guess.
Yeah, he's suing everyone of, like, all of his associates essentially. which is crazy, bro. I mean, like the OTK, sure, but Mythic Talent and King Gaming Labs. What do they do?
He I guess wasn't wrong when he said that. He didn't drop the nukes he promised, but he did drop this lawsuits where he's suing these individuals. And man, very bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him, because this is going to be very interesting. Imagine the amount of communications. Now we're adding in communications with Asmongold potentially in Discovery, but now also on an organizational level, which could expand into reaches you can't even imagine. So we're going to get some really spicy communications if this does go to trial and there is a discovery process that happens. And
There
let's
will
just
be.
check in on the comments, the initial reactions to this. So with an Amber Heard picture, in quotes, "Your Honor, but the plushies." Amazing. You're going to be seeing this a lot, this meme right here. Over the
Bro, that picture of Amber Heard, oh my god. Isn't that the pic? Isn't that isn't that where she was talking about what did she say? My dog was stung by a bee. I think, yeah, that was it. Oh, God.
coming months. "Your Honor, she threw plushies at me." So true. That is a valid defense. Well, that's one way to fight being canceled, Your Honor, but the plushies. Mizkif is going to get cooked in Discovery. Absolutely. Bro realizes Asmongold could literally bankrupt him. There's no way he has more cash than the Roach King, which is a point that Tectone would raise as a fellow former OTK member. He says anyone saying Mizkif will sue Asmongold and Emiru and win because Mizkif has more money, first off, doesn't get how the legal system works. And even if it did work that way, one party made millions and burned all of it on expensive cars, steroids, and hair transplants, by his own admission, by the way, Mizkif's. The other party has spent less than 1% of what he made on gummy worms and beef jerky. Which party do you think has more money left? Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Asmongold
Dude, I mean, here's the thing. If you're someone that watches Asmongold shit, the most that he spends his money on, yes, is literally beef jerky and Dr. Pepper. Bro, come on. Like, who's the ones that be spending more money, like monthly or yearly? A nigga that's investing his money on beef jerky and fucking Dr. Pepper, or the nigga that's buying fucking supercars. It's like, okay.
has been getting roasted. He rage baited everyone again on Twitter recently, where he shared his diet, where it consists of nothing but gummy worms and beef jerky and like sweets.
Yeah.
And people, of course, are literally like tearing their hair out who, look for any reason to be mad about him. But yeah, I think Asmongold's pockets run pretty deep at this point. And I would imagine Emiru as well. She seems like also someone who doesn't spend their money frivolously. So, but let's hear a comment from Legal Mindset, who of course is a actual attorney. He says, Mizkif is going to lose this lawsuit so hilariously.
Oh, is that what I saw? Oh, okay, it was a tweet that I saw.
I will need to supersize my popcorn for this one. He has opened himself up to complete reputational destruction while suffering the pain of discovery and legal fees. Been traveling, but will review on my next stream, which I and many others will be looking forward to. So,
oh yeah, I saw it.
What is going on here is an act of control. I believe that. I think this guy is such a narcissist and he loves controlling the narrative so much that Mizkif will literally tank his reputation further and blow all of his money and even risk losing all of this just to get back at someone who wronged him and someone who's making him look bad publicly. And I want to share this clip. I made a mistake when I first covered this situation a couple days ago because I forgot to include one clip that I thought was fascinating that shows the level of control this guy desires.
I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry.
Wow. In that, we got the clothing of consent. That's a new one to add to the list, right, guys? And also, he's sitting there like, you're going to wear those pajamas on stream, you harlots? Like, this guy, like I said,
You
definitely
whore.
has an ego issue. He wants to control everything. And there's some really good points being raised by a lot of people. Here's some of the relevant explanations of why he's doing this. So, Mizkif is seeking damages for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. The exact amount of money has not been disclosed.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like, how can you say that you had reputational harm was all that was going on even way before any of this happened? Loss of earnings, again, that's been going on way before all this happened with Emiru. What's up, Vince? How you doing? And emotional distress, bro. Didn't he say in his offline chat that he was taking Molly and mushrooms and fucking acid and shit to discover himself, I guess, in the fucking third eye or something? Nigga, you distress yourself with all the fucking pounds of drugs that you took. What are you talking about? Emotional distress.
So you can see what he's alleging here, that Asmongold repeatedly called Mizkif an aggressor and abuser during his own live streams, amplifying the accusation to millions of viewers. And then Mizkif claims these statements are false and have caused significant harm to his reputation and career. Shortly after the live stream, OTK Media, co-founded by Mizkif, sent him a termination letter citing the nature of the Emiru allegations and announced it was reclaiming more than 1 million shares of company stock without compensation.
That's not true. That's not true because in that very thing, it said that they paid him out 200. I think it was like $200,000 in what is it, in shares for the stock. So no, him saying that they straight up just took his stock without compensation. No, that's not true, because in this same thing, or in his document, it stated that they paid him out 200 plus thousand or something like that for his shares. And yes, he had like 1.1 million shares, which means that each share was basically like 27 cents, or it's roughly like 20ish cents. So yeah, so no, that's bullshit. That part is a fucking lie.
The complaint asserts that no contractual breaches occurred. Mythic Talent and King Game.
The complaint asserts that no contractual breaches occurred, and this is not true. He, what is it? He got warned. No, was it warned or that's not true. He did come breach for contract when he said, when there's a clip of him saying fuck everyone. What is it? Fuck OTK, Phase. I think there was someone else too. Um, what is, I don't need them, they need me. And yeah, and things like that. And and then they never mentioned this part, but he proceeded to do, what is it? He proceeded to mimic gunshots. What is it, like a rapid fire machine gun? Which I'm like, I mean, come on, man, come on. We've heard plenty of hip hop music to know what that means. You know, we've all listened to niggas with attitude and knows what exactly that means. I'm just saying. So yeah. So that right there, yeah, that's a breach of contract. And yes, as a company, I would absolutely fire his ass. Even if he's a dude, even if you're co-founder, hell, even if you're a fucking founder, you can remove by your own company. Are you serious? What are you talking about? Wait, does Mizkif not know that even if you're the person that created and founded the company, especially if you have like a hierarchy of a fucking positions and shit, it's like, bro, you do know that the people of like the suits, right? The people that have like the votes, and you know, that can vote on shit. you know, they're the ones that could ultimately be like, yeah, you're still ahead of the company, or they could just boot you from the company. Like, does he not know that exists? Literally, that's literally what happened to the dude that made FNAF, right? It's like, didn't he say something, and because of that, what is it? They booted him from the company. Well, I think he stepped down, but still, what a fucking idiot.
Gaming Labs also claimed breaches and demanded Mizkif owed more than 600,600 clams to
Yeah, that's breaching. Yeah, it's not exactly abnormal of that either for there to be fees for breaching contracts. That's normal.
Mythic Talent for management fees. Boy, oh boy. These are some interesting allegations, especially since it's leaning all about reputational harm.
And on top of that, it was shown too that Mizkif was also, I believe he was paid $4 million to be signed with Mythic, and I think he has to give Mythic Talent like 20% or something like that. I forgot, but I did see like 20% or something. I don't know if it's supposed to be like gratuity to Mythic. It probably was, but yeah, but because of everything that happened, well, raise your contract.
Which is implying that what he's saying or what's been said about him in the allegations is not true. But of course, he went live on stream within the day the allegations were made, and he pretty much admitted to, I'd say, almost 90% of the things she said. That's not great. In fact, the only thing he could really do in response was say that she didn't feed her bunnies enough, and even implied Emiru was responsible for ending the life of one of these bunnies, which, again, they lived in the same place, so if he was really that worried, why didn't he intervene in any sort of a meaningful way? But if anything,
The funny thing is that clip, I don't know if you guys have seen it. That clip, when you see it, like, yes, you do see like the mites and all that stuff, but it's like, if you think about it, when was that video recorded? Was that recorded after the bunnies died? Was it recorded before? Or was it recorded after Emiru was there, or when she moved out or whatever? Was she still living there? Was it recorded while she was there or after she left? Was it recorded where her bunnies were still alive or after they died? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be for real with you. Some people, especially when it comes with deaths of their pets and stuff, leave leave the said, whatever it is, beds, comforters, whatever. Some people tend to leave, what that thing was for a while. And you want to know why I know this? Because it's exactly what we did when our dog died. The bed, what is it? The bed that she had, it was stayed in the what is it? The last place where what is it where she was in the what is it? It stayed in the garage because that's where she was. Because believe it or not, when heavily dying, and what I mean by literally dying, like she was dying, literally decaying at that point, tends to have a very, very strong smell. And I mean, like, people have no idea what fucking death smells like. But yeah, like, it was crazy, man. And like, it was like, that's how like rank it was. But yeah, like, um and that's the thing too, is that bed stayed in the garage for like a couple of days. Like, it all did. So yeah, it's actually pretty normal for, for something like that to stay the way how it was. But the true question is, if it was, why wasn't it cleaned up? And second, how long was it like that? Because for all that to be there, that must have been there for a long fucking time.
the person defaming people might be him. And also, like, what are you gonna do, man? You gonna throw a Kirby at her? Like, this right here is a great meme. Throwing that lawsuit 150 miles an hour right at Emiru and also Asmongold, OTK, and other parties as well. But let's get back here. Like, what's going on? Like,
Oops.
why these people who also seem like really dangerous targets for Mizkif, why is he doing this? Well, let's look at the parties involved. Beginning with Emiru, I think this is the most obvious one. And again, she predicted this would happen when she made the allegations. So it's not too surprising. And I think a lot of this has to do with, again, the control narrative and also the fact that she obviously made the allegations. And of course, in the court of law, it doesn't matter what the public thinks. If you have a better argument than your opponent, you win. But, you know, if this is a sign of anything, right? A video with nearly 2 million views and it has 103,000 likes versus 1K dislikes. And understand that Mizkif's community is known for brigading anything negative about him. Like, it is a fact. Everyone knows this. And that was the best they could do. They took it down to a 99% like to dislike ratio. I'm just saying, right now it appears that hearing what we've heard so far, people have made up their mind. Pretty much. And, you know, this whole thing also stems from stuff like this. I don't know if you guys have seen this little side.
Oh yes, dude. This. Here's the thing. That one thing with Emiru when she was saying everything that happened, I'm like, damn, bro, that's bad. And then I saw the Mizkif one. I was like, I don't know. Like, it's like I don't know. This doesn't. I'm like, this kind of validates Emiru even more. And then the clips, bro, the clips start coming out of the way how Mizkif was with Emiru, even with the other girl too, with his ex, with the other ex, not, yeah, you know what I mean. So I was like, bro, this just makes him look even worse. It just doesn't stop. I'm like, bro.
Side clip comparison, but Mizkif and Emiru went live at the same time, and he got distraught because her viewer count got higher than him live while they were at streaming at the same time, and he had a breakdown on stream. Starts instantly turning toxic the second she passed him in viewers, and eventually went into her room, threw a hissy fit, and slammed the door behind him, and she literally like flinched. Like, it was a very also, I'll add, right around that time, she said she had to go to the bathroom. A lot of people think she was going out to talk to him or something. It was just a very weird.
I think that's what happened. I think she went out to talk to him.
Thing, and it kind of fuels why he's dragging this out. Like, he was acting like this when they were in a relationship, and people were choosing her over him. What about now? Not great. So let's talk about the other party,
bro. That clip, I'll be honest with you. Can you imagine almost having 20,000 people watching you? Imagine that. And Fins, imagine being literally the 0.01% of being of a live streamer and having almost 20,000 people watching you while your girlfriend or boy, I don't know what you are, but while having your significant other having 5 more thousand viewers than you, and you crash out because of it. It's like, bro, what? Dude, it's like, it's just so fucking stupid, because it's like, dude, yeah, 5,000 more, yeah, that's quite a bit. It's a bit, but it's like, dude, how many people on an average has 20,000 people watching them? How, like, this is not the average. This isn't the average at all for people to be watching someone. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, what are we talking about? Imagine that you crash out because your significant other has a couple of more thousand than you. But bro, even you yourself has like 20,000. 20,000 people are watching you. Brother, do you have any idea how many people will love having that many people watch them? Are you serious? Jesus Christ, bro. The fucking petty, but also the hardcore envy too. He's so envious. Like, holy shit. envious is it. What is it? Envious is what destroyed his career.
Of course, Asmongold, and used to have a connection with OTK. So why him? Well, I think it's because Asmongold has been very hard on Mizkif ever since these allegations came out.
This is true. Hold on, let me check out something real quick. Okay. All right, got everything I needed. Okay. Everything is good. Everything's good. Oh wait. Right here. Okay. Got everything I needed. Had to look at something real quick. Nothing important.
In fact, right from the jump, he offered to pay the legal expenses of anyone who wanted to come out and share their story about him.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any of that shit that's happened, I mean, they can always contact me, and like I can set them up with legal counsel, and I can pay for it. It's not really a big deal. If they want to come out and they're worried about like getting sued or something like that, it's not a big deal to me at all. And so, like, yeah, if that's a thing, but
bro, I won't be for real. When someone is loaded, when they tell you, yeah, I'll just pay for your legal fees. It's no big deal. Bro, that lets you know that Asmongold, this dude could literally disappear. He could stop streaming right now and he wouldn't even have to worry about financials at all. Like, just think about it. That's how loaded he is.
Don't know. I mean, if Arya knows something, I mean, she just let me know. But like, that's it. She's saying that like people that got abused or whatever, they didn't have social media or whatever. That's the reason why. Has anyone reached out yet? If they had, I wouldn't have told you. So yeah, it's just like, because it would be a very private thing, assuming that somebody would have reached out. And so I wouldn't say that or do anything, because I think also it makes it about me at that point. And so like, yeah, I would never talk about that for any reason.
Another thing I haven't covered since my previous video about the situation, Mizkif in his offline chat on Twitch was sharing a bunch of messages. And to sum up this big wall of text, he starts making excuses for his behavior, basically saying that he's been contemplating taking his own life since like 2022, and that since he's lived in LA, he's been doing like a bunch of drugs and steroids and all these things that have messed with his mind and his body, and he's had all these issues, and it's only made things worse. And he's been hurting himself in the process, and he has these insane anger issues from the steroids, and yada yada yada. And Asmongold, like many other people, see the timing of this.
Oh, here it is. Let me see. Can you guys see that right here? Yeah, it says I was taking shrooms every day to fix my brain, but that destroyed me. This nigga literally bought the idea that if you took shrooms, it would help you. Bro, why don't you take DMT at that point? Fucking idiot. This guy really thought, hey, let me take drugs to fix myself. What a fucking idiot. Man, he really believes all the shit that he sees on like Joe Rogan and things like that, bro. Nigga just gets addicts and conspiracy theorists.
And it appears that, to Asmongold and other people, that he's trying to use this as bait to get empathy. And he's saying some very serious things and basically saying, I'm not responsible. Take pity on me. And basically, how could you be mad at me? I have all these issues.
It's kind of like Kevin Spacey got outed for being like a bad actor, which actually turned out to not be true, by the way. Seemingly, Kevin Spacey's a fine guy, or at least like not a criminal. But immediately said, oh, I'm gay now, right? Or something like that, right? In order to like to do this is like really, you talk about, oh, well, I want to kill myself. Well, what about all the people that you negatively affected? Have you ever thought that maybe they wanted to kill themselves? Maybe you ever think about like maybe how that would affect them? No, you don't. You don't think about them because it's all about you. It's all about you. And that's it. No, I never have any, like, whenever a person goes and they do something that negatively affects another person, then my sympathy for that person goes down to zero. Sympathy baiting, yeah. Never let somebody sympathy bait you. This is that people like this are manipulative. They are conniving, manipulative, abusive people that will
Oh yeah.
use your own emotions against you so they can get you while you least expect it. Never do it.
So another party in all of this is OTK, who officially cut ties with Mizkif after the allegations came out, but it appears that they're already kind of like falling out of a relationship already. Like it wasn't really active at that point anyways. But yeah, they came out with a statement immediately saying they support Emiru and they stand by her side. And while Mizkif was one of the founding members of OTK, they have terminated their relationship and they are going to just keep moving forward. And of course, the other parties involved with this is Mythic Talent and King Gaming Labs, which is going to be another interesting dynamic. Like I said, especially if this gets into Discovery, adding in entire organizations with some very popular streamers as well, it's gonna be a wild ride. That's for absolute sure. But for now, that's gonna do it for this video. If there's more updates, I'll be talking about it. But anyways, leave your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Honestly, good luck, buddy. Good luck. What was that song? What's that song from Eminem? Um, I think it's a Godzilla. I think, or is it Houdini? I forget. But what is it? Is the song starts with the guy calling? He's like M is Paul. Good fucking luck. You're on your own. That's literally lawyers. That's Bizkip's lawyer replying to him later down the line. Good fucking luck. You're on your own. That's what I think it's gonna happen. But hey, you know what? Who knows, man? Who knows? Could this end well for Ms. Kiv? Probably. Or would this end horribly? Probably. I don't know. These are lawsuits, man. We never really we never know how these things are gonna go. Sometimes we think, oh, this is a straight up dub, straight up W, and then it just ends up in a loss. So we just never know with these things. We just never know. So yeah. What can I play? Maybe I could do Minecraft. Is Kaylin? Let me see if Kaylin's on. Yeah, I want to see if maybe she's there. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, right? Yeah, if Kaylin is in there, then I could probably do some Warframe or some maybe some Elden Ring. I think that'd be good too, because I think there's some things I got to do in Elden Ring. I don't remember where I was in Elden Ring. Yeah, but you know what? There is the new character that I got for Warframe that I can do. So, that's good too. Yeah, but I think she fell asleep probably. Yeah, I think she fell asleep. Yeah, so that looks like to be the case. I gotta ask her. I want to know. I gotta ask her if there's a way that I could turn on the server too. I just don't know why it's not live all the time, or well, but I gotta ask her if there's a way that I could turn it on. Is there anything important in Warframe I gotta do? I don't think so. Well, I mean, I still gotta grind some Kuva shit.
Operator, you have returned.
$500 Oxium has a much more higher value. That's 500 Oxium when you normally get like 20 or whatever. Okay. What was his name? Shit. Wait, hold on, guys. What's his name? What Warframe was it? Was it? Oh, Caliban. Okay, let me look up. Caliban real quick. Man, I really don't have anything that's Caliban. Fuck. Well, this is blueprint right here. Crap. Well, let me go through my list. What do I have? Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is Caliban's signature weapon. Okay, well, let's see what we got. We got something for this, maybe. Banshee. Got a lot of Banshee stuff. Dual Kiris. Oh yeah, I forgot. Don't I have the things for these? Yeah, I do. I just never got the thing for it. Ayavara, Limbo, Korra, more Korra. Is Korra finally vaulted? I think she is. Yeah. nothing good here. Disruption, defense. Nah, I need the survival. Survival for the for what is it for the Kuva? It's actually pretty good. It's not amazing, but it is good. All right, for Noko. Okay, Noko has. Oh, he has a V polarity as a start. Okay, maybe I could use what is it? Camaraderie. Okay, what is his abilities? Throw a mushroom that periodically sheds poisonous spores, inflicting viral damage and status effect upon nearby enemies, while also lulling them to sleep. Interesting how that works. Release a rejuvenating mushroom that emits a radio pulse, giving Noko and his allies energy and applying a buff to ability strength that lasts a short time. Ooh, okay, that sounds interesting. So it gives so it gives energy, strength. Of course, that's gonna scale more the higher that rank is. So it's probably gonna be up to like maybe 25 energy or something like that, probably. Reroots, revert to a sprouting form, spawning orbs that heal Noko and grant speed boost. While in this state, Noko is untargetable and heals gradually. That sounds awesome. Unleash a chaotic ballistic mushroom that seeks enemies and bounces explosively off whoever it touches. Contact with any of Noko's mushrooms to invigorate them. Invigorates them, doubling their pulse rate. Also, this right here, because I don't. Maybe this will work. Yeah, because this is also like a thing you throw down. This is another thing you throw down. So it helps both of those. Okay. Upon receiving fatal damage, Noko reverts to his Sproutling form and his active mushrooms will glow, reviving when touched. Orbs spawn will grant a speed boost but not healing. If a glowing mushroom is not reached in time, Noko will automatically use a self-revive. What the fuck? Bro, that sounds very interesting for this character. Okay, so how do you build him? So probably like Reach would do really good with this character. Okay, so maybe something like no, that won't do because it's nothing. He has electricity. Oh, he's got toxin, so I could probably throw in probably something with continuity. Maybe a prime flow, of course. Maybe Archon continuity. Isn't there a flow Archon flow? I think I don't think I ever bought that one. No, I don't think I ever bought that one. Is anything different with the shields? I don't think so for what it looks like. So no. Don't I have another Archon mod that does something with viral? I don't think I do. Archon Vitality, nope. Archeon Stretch. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. So what else can I throw on him? Okay, so I put max. So I put as much radius as I can. Max bounces. Each bounce increases crit chance with bounce. So does that increase with efficiency? Let me throw in efficiency. See what happens. What is it called? It is called streamline. Hmm. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can can movement speed have impact with anything? Rush. I think it can in terms of like being in tiny form. Which is interesting because hold on, let me put sprint speed. Which is really interesting because there's not that many things that increase just movement speed. And what I mean by movement speed, I mean just like walking. But hey, you know. Okay. Let me see. What can I put on Noko? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up how this guy works, cause, or at least how to build him. Just get an idea. I kind of wish he did radiation. Ooh, enemies killed by cold abilities have a chance to drop my energy. Okay, that's nice. Ability strength when restoring health with abilities grants more strength. Okay, is that really it? Oh, maybe that's why I never got more of the Archon. What is it, Archon mods? Hmm. How come he doesn't have that much health? So instead of like vitality, would he be more better on using like on vigor instead? Hmm. I don't know if I don't know if augmented will be good for this character, but I'm interested to see how it works. Okay, so we got this stuff.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
There are void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a relic. A fissure. Defend yourself and use reactant to open relics. The enemies are dropping reactant. The reactant is working on your relic. Find more. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. You have collected enough reactant to open your relic. The Premier should have known better than to walk into an Oregon tower unprepared. Let's clean up their mess. And they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Yeah.
And so we learn the importance of clarity.
How much did I get? Oh, I got 52 void traces. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I wouldn't exactly. Yeah, that's pretty good. That just meant like I got like what, 26 practically if it wasn't doubled. Do I have the Lankspur? The Larkspur? Is that the is that the which one was really good? Was it the Corvas or the Larkspur? I think it was the Larkspur, I think. Oh. Oh, look at Orc React. Damn, I need the kunais. Shit. Do I have a weapon I could sacrifice? Actually, yes, this one's I could get rid of. Okay. Let me see. Wait, he has a unique trait. Reload speed while sprinting. Bonus is double wielded by Goss. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, am I really gonna use this? Hell no. All right, what throw away melee do I have? There's the Cronus. I could use the dual Kiris. Okay. Get in the forever box. All right, Mushroom Boy.
are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting. You found a target. Capture them quickly before they escape. What is that thing?
Look at this. A dreamer sleep stumbling onto my Kuva siphon.
The resonance frequency has changed. You're onto something, Tenno. We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down quickly. No time to ask questions. Destroy that thing. Weapons aren't working. Try something else.
What a waste.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. That worked. More operator farms key. Target the other Kuba clouds. Use your operator form to strike those Kuba clouds.
My siphon! My Kuva! You're messing up all my plans. I don't like it. Not one bit.
Good work, Tenno. We need to do everything we can to stop the Queens from gathering any more Kuba. Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back at base. Your part is done here, Tenno. A juggernaut nearby? It will only attack when it senses high concentrations of infested blood. Stop the fight if you want it to go away. The juggernaut. I think you made it angry. Good work. Another job well executed.
I'm just hearing the radio guy in the background, bro. He does sound like he does not give a fuck about his job. Like he sounds like he does not give a shit. He's like, yeah, man, you know, it's just, you know, reading in the reports and everything. It's just, you know, just everyone get back in the stations and we'll regroup and assess the situation. All right. It's like, okay. It's like, hey, man. Fair enough. Oh my god, look at these. Exterminate, disruption, assault, mobile. Bro, how do you get like... Can one of these be survival? I'll look at the other one. Mainly people go to this one. And it's defense. For the Kuva Fortress.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
Keep fighting. As long as the enemy is here, this tower is useless to us. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
They fought well. Good deaths all.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, you get 3 forma for this? Okay. Do we need a primary adapter? I think I do. All right, let's get it.
We're going to need more reactant. I want to open that relic.
Get out of my face!
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
What did I mount on?
It's been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Hee hee.
Broken their ranks and they're on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Father Stranon, your sacred tokens shall remain secure from the grasp of the idol.
That thing is dead already. The cheeseburgerler. Oh, yeah. That's what it's called. Right.
A valuable lesson.
Damn, whatever happened to the hamburglar? Is he still a thing? Okay. All right, I gotta level up.
that there, fan? I could hardly believe it. Noko. What brings you into the airlock? You gonna be my gardener today? Not all invasive weeds are plants. Some got legs, guns, and ranks. Need to be
What is
pulled
the
all the same.
weeklies? I think I did most of them, right? Besides the Idolon bounties.
Shall we? Later.
Looks like the Mercs are onto us. That was very fast. Mark bonnets ain't pleasant. You're in for a rough ride until it works through you.
Corpus, the void sees you. It sees you holding back. What more can you give? Remember, my success will be your success. Whether you find those riches here or in the great beyond.
Wow.
Taxmen just arrested a topside worker for debt crimes. Let's cut that chap a break and set him free. An ironwood? Might feel like you've been dropped on your head for the next bit. Done already? You've been drinking your go-go juice. Don't stop now. For the love of... Just heard the Mercs are foraging for syzygy. You've got to get to them first. When you do, stay close till they're done blooming. Another cluster of syzygy blooming. You know what to do. energy before the mercs do. One down. More about to bloom. Don't let the taxman pluck them first. One less bloom for them. More about to bloom. Don't let the taxman pluck them first. Foraged, safe and sound. Lots of syzygy. Don't let him get any more, mate. Another cluster of syzygy blooming. You know what to do. One less bloom.
Dude, I genuinely gotta ask, how are you dying at Sevagoth? Do you have any idea how difficult it is for Sevagoth to die? Like, genuinely. Like, you have to not know what you're doing as Sevagoth.
Get that energy before the mercs do. One down. More fungi ready for you. Get that energy before the mercs do. Foraged, safe and sound. Another cluster of syzygy blooming. You know what to do. One down. Looks like foraging season is over. A bountiful harvest for you means slim pickings for them. Good. Corporate's got mercs converging nearby. Get in there and stand your ground until they stop coming. You ain't an ironwood, looks like. Watch out. That one hits hard. Corporate just don't know when to call it quits. More riffraff inbound. Just cross the 50% mark, mate. Squash the rest. Almost there. Finish him off. Guts. He cleared them out without him getting so much as a foot off. Mucking inspiration, you are, mate. One more job for you today, and it's a big one. Corpus Boss Man's been giving the roots and fruits no end of trouble. Find
I
him.
wonder if faster cast speed would be better for this.
New pest in the garden. Mucking invasive arachnoids, trampling all the fruits and crushing the roots. Don't need to tell you what needs doing, do I? You know what'll make it poke its ugly head out? A bunch of dead corpus. Try it and see. There's the damn pest. Send him to the dirt. No arachnophobia for you. You got right in there. Good job. The place looks better already. Come on up.
You cannot stop progress. I will sterilize this cesspool.
You are a blade. You exist to strike. You strike to win. The lesson ends.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, wait. When you subsume, you learn the bright bonnet. Wait, reduce strength buff and energy distortion. Oh, okay. So it's not as strong, but I think it'll still be pretty good. Okay. So yeah, this should be fine. Cast speed on this guy, I think it'd be pretty good.
Oh, no go. Yep, for any time.
Okay, so the duration is 30 seconds, almost 40 seconds. Okay, max. Effect duration. What does that mean?
Huh? Look who it is. Lovely to see you back, little one.
Tomorrow.
Corporate's new manager. Don't like him. Don't like what he's up to in the garden. You take care of him for me?
Oh.
What is going on down here? Where is my palace? You haven't even broken ground yet! It's time for a shake-up. Meet the new boss. He won't be as nice.
Seems the taxman left their supplies out without a lick of cover. Must be their offering for the communal shed. How nice of them. You chose a dull button. They'll have a flavour if you boil them long enough. Should have known it was too good to be true. Taxman incoming. That was very fast.
The Tenno. Send reinforcements.
Corporate's got mercs converging nearby. Get in there and stand your ground until they stop coming. Force it's on the way, and they don't seem pleased. One half gone, one half to go. Clear out what's left. That's the last of the Merc Mooks. Poor muckers didn't stand a chance against you. The syzygy blooms for minutes, releases its energy, and then dies. Get close to them and capture their energy before the taxmen get anywhere near. Another cluster of syzygy blooming. You know what to do. Aborica. Let's hope it can't eat through that there seed of yours. Foraged, safe and sound. They got some syzygy. Don't let them get any more, mate. More about to bloom. Don't let the taxman pluck them first. One less bloom for them. More fungi ready for you. Get that energy before the mercs do. One down. Another cluster of syzygy blooming. You know what to do. Foraged, safe and sound. More fungi ready for you. Get that energy before the mercs do. One down. More about to bloom. Don't let the taxman pluck them first. One less bloom for them. More about to bloom. Don't let the... One down. That's the last of them. I doubt they'll be able to do much with the energy they got. Thanks, mate. Corporate seems to have left a buzzer droning all by its lonesome. Could be useful for us. Knock it down. Roots and fruits have control. Make sure nothing happens to our new buzzer.
Yes, move.
Corporate would rather destroy their own tools than let us have control. Don't let them touch our new toy. need you to pull. Fruits and roots don't like 'em, and neither do I. We got arachnoid, pretending to be part of the circle, but it's nothing but nuts and bolts. Stomp that faker. Arachnoid skulking somewhere close. Knock some heads. Never come running. Always so predictable. That thing owe you money? Could have sworn that was personal. Ah, look at that. All done. I hope they didn't put up too much of a fight.
Do I not deserve a space where I can be safe, Tenno? Your lotus hid the moon in the void for you, and you won't let me have this? Shame.
They fought well. Good deaths all.
And others.
Get back to work, you muckers. Hey, you. Come here. Act natural.
How do I increase? How do I increase the can you increase the projectiles and things like that? From what it looks like, no.
Status check on coolant flow. And mind it doesn't off-gas! Oi, I got work if you can keep your mouth shut.
Oh.
Status check on coolant flow. And mind it doesn't off-gas! Oi, I got work if you can keep your mouth shut. There's a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here. Leave no one standing.
Who the fuck? Whose little drones are those? Oh, those are the teammates.
Those are the Queen's blades. What are they up to?
Relax, child. You won't feel a thing. Promise.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The resonance frequency has changed. You're onto something, Tenno. That worked. Your operator form is key. Target the other Kuva clouds.
I'm out of bullets.
What a waste. I give you maggots the honor of eating from my scrap trough, and this is how you repay me? Unacceptable. You useless balls of festering flesh. You let them destroy my Kuva psyche.
You destroyed the Queen's Kuva section. We can't allow any beast to survive. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. distraction. Mission complete. Excellent work,
Boom.
Tenno.
All right. All right. Well, what should we form? Revert to a Sproutling. I just don't know what to. I just don't know which one is going to be picked. What's a good forma to put on this character? You know, I'll be honest with you. I really thought he would have much more higher health. Maybe shield too. But it's really interesting the way how this character works. But then again, given that his abilities and things like that, he's practically invisible if you can keep up with the what is it with the bright what is it with the mushrooms of the stink brain or the bright bonnet. He's practically immortal. Like he practically can never die, especially as the halfling form. Wait, did I have it in configuration B? Oh, I guess I did. So yeah, So it's gonna be interesting to see how he fully works, or at least for me it is. And I won't lie, the mushroom, this one, the spore spring, honestly, this does a lot of damage. This does a lot of damage. Even though it says right here initially, right? But damn, this thing does damage. Interesting stuff. But I don't think there's any way you can increase the pulse rate or decrease it, I guess. Because that's what you want more. You want the pulse rate to be shorter and not longer. But I don't think you could do anything else with that. How was the Mizkif video? It was good. It was good. Honestly, I don't know what to really what's the word? It's interesting to see where the lawsuit's gonna go. You know, if Mizkif if he really has any chance of winning, or is he just gonna straight up lose? Because I think everything that we're about to know, especially of Discovery and things like that, I fully believe Discovery is gonna bite him in the ass. I do believe so. I do believe that Discovery it is gonna bite him in the ass for sure. But so far, like, when I saw the one thing where it's like, where it mentions that they make it where that they made it where, like, oh, like they took his thing, like they took like his money, or they don't, not his money, they took his shares and things like that, which is like, you can't exactly say that part is even true, because for what it looks like, they paid him out for his shares and things like that. That's a part that I think of that he's gonna lose on that part if he tries to go after that part. But I think the other part that he's gonna lose on is the what was the other one? Is him trying to prove that they were the reason why he was losing money, which to me, I think it's going to be difficult for him to prove that. And it's because the reason why he's going to have a hard time proving that is because he's been on a downward spiral of his content, of his financials, and just as a whole in terms of being a content creator. So that part is going to be difficult for him to prove that it was essentially their fault for him losing his reputation, which, I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of people knew that his reputation was hitting the shitter. So on money on, he lose. What about you? I think he's gonna lose. There could be some incidences, some certain specific things he'll probably win in, but I don't know what. But I believe he'll lose his I believe that he'll lose his case. Yeah, I believe he's gonna lose this case. I really do. And it's not because like I want him to lose and shit like that. It's because everything around him is built negative and things like that. That's the reason why I say that he's going to lose. That's the reason why I say he's ultimately going to lose. Because a lot of people already have negative experiences with him. There was already talks and all that stuff of him being removed from the organization, especially with the infractions. Is it infractions? No. What's the word? No, breaches. Certain breaches of the agreement, of the contracts that he has done, and stuff. So that's the other part where I'm thinking that I think he will lose on that. So I mean, could it potentially go his way? Maybe. I mean, lawsuits can go anywhere. That's the thing, is like, lawsuits can absolutely go anywhere. So, but ultimately, do I think he's gonna lose? Honestly, yes. I think he's going to lose his case. This is going to be an expensive character to invest on. So if I remove this and properly put, no, and maybe not vigor. I could probably put vitality with maybe intensify. I don't know if that'd be any bit better. But yeah, that's what I think ultimately. I think he will lose. I think he will lose his case. And all that. Yeah. I don't know, like that's the thing too, is like I can't like that's what I think, you know, as I said, it can absolutely go anywhere in terms of the case. You know, he you know, it could be a straight up dunk for Mizkif, you know, of him winning, or he'll just completely lose. So we don't know. We don't know ultimately what's gonna happen. But for what it looks like, a lot of some lawyers, you know, who really know what they're talking about, especially the well trusted ones, like a legal mindset, like he says like, yeah, he's going to lose the case. And I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm like, for me, from what I saw, yeah, I think so too. I think he will lose. I think he will lose his case, because there's so much more on him than everyone else. Well, okay, now I gotta look up how people build on this guy. I gotta look up how people build on Noko, because Noko is such a weird. I don't know. He's just a weird character for me to build on. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't pull my finger on it. Warframe. No. Nah. No. Noko. Noko's problem. No Warframe Noko has absurd damage. I was seeing like a million damage on his thing, which I thought was strange. Because I know that wasn't me doing that damage. Okay,
Noko is the brand new Warframe, and honestly, when I first saw him, I was not impressed, to say the least, with many of you feeling the same way. However, oh boy, is this dude borderline broken. No clickbait. He deals tens of millions of damage, constant invisibility, infinite energy, crowd control, viral priming, and even if you ever take fatal damage, you're still never gonna die anyway. So,
dude, like Noko is literally an immortal character. As long as you always have a mushroom down, and especially if you're fairly nearby it, you could automatically just fucking res like consistently. Like, oh my god, consistently. Not saying anything would happen, but I could definitely see if shit hits the fan for you. I could see you reaching out to legal mindset for legally for help. I would, yeah, I would ask him for like any potential like uh what is it, like any like potential like advice and things like that. For sure.
in this Warframe guide, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about Noko, and I have some disgusting builds prepared. Big shout outs to all our generous channel members, and now let's jump right into it. First of all, how do you even get Noko yourself? Well, you will have to have the new war quest finished, otherwise you will not have access. Once that's done though, all you need to do is go into Fortuna, turn around and go into this vent right here, where you will find Nightcap, the new NPC, and in his shop you can then buy Noko's blueprint plus the components, you know, the standard stuff whenever a new Warframe comes out. In order to rank up with him and unlock all of his in the first place, you will have to do bounties in the new Val in order to rank up with him.
Oh, fully analyze and increase your mushrooms. So for you, you have to get rank 6 to 12 to 16 for 4 to 5 ranks.
And unlock all of this in the first place, you will have to do bounties in the new Valis Undermine style set that also came with this update. And the good thing is, Noko and his components can also be acquired as drops from those bounties. My personal Noko was given to me by the Warframe developers as part of the Warframe Creator Program, so big shoutouts to DE for that, making it possible that I can bring you this video early. But now that you know how you can farm Noko for yourself, let's next, as per usual, talk about what the man can do. Let's go over his abilities. Now, usually, in my Warframe guides, I start out with the passive. However, here, I first want to jump in with his first ability right away.
Stink brain. Cannot wait to the term that PNG of yours that are using into a D-Day eventually, that 3D model that you got one day again. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too.
This one is called Stink Brain,
it's gonna be great.
which is also his helmet ability, so you can put that on all other frames if you like. And what this does is actually pretty straightforward. You throw out a fungus ball, and wherever that lands, it will grow a mushroom that pulsates every 3 seconds, and with each pulse, it will deal AoE viral damage and also force proc viral on all the enemies it hits, which is pretty cool for viral priming purposes. However, the damage in and of itself is nothing to write home about. If you want to, you can also jump onto the mushroom, which will then emit a pulse every time you land on it, making it faster, and you can have up—
Oh wait, is that what that does? I know I was able to jump on it and it was glowing every single time I hit it. I wasn't sure if it was like procking.
to 3 of those on the field at the same time. However, viral priming is not the only thing that this does. In addition to that, every enemy hit by one of those viral pulses will also fall asleep and be instantly open for melee finishers. This is ridiculously strong, as we're going to see a bit later in the build section, and also, it gives Noko great crowd controlling capabilities for mission types like interception, mobile defense, any type of mission where you just need to hold out for a set amount of time. But let it be known, if you take Noko into a normal defense mission, where you actually want the enemies to come to you as fast as possible, you could screw over your team big time if you just slow down all the enemies and drag out the mission progress. So keep that one in mind, don't be annoying with this. Ability number 2 goes by the name Bright Bonnet. Bright Bonnet, I don't know how to pronounce
It's Bright Bonnet.
it, but essentially, this one is a second type of mushroom, but this one has other capabilities.
The reason why I know what that is because I've seen what old traditional bonnets look like, and that used to be a thing that used to be worn like in the 1800s, I believe. I don't know if it was late 1800s, but it was. That was something that women tend to use.
Abilities, namely that it's gonna give you and all allies in range an ability strength buff, which is quite a rare type of buff and therefore very much appreciated, and also with every pulse it regenerates a bit of your energy. So if you want to fill up your energy at the beginning of a mission, I would recommend just throw one down and jump a couple of times so you can start your mission with maximum juice. Ability number 3 is called Reroute, and if I'm being perfectly honest, right, it's day 1, I might be missing some major points here, but from what I've seen so far, this one is really not all that impressive, and definitely the one where you would put in something else from the helmet.
Oh, really? Honestly, I actually like this ability.
See, what happens here is—
Bro, dude, they gave that mushroom mad cheeks. Why? Like, why? Like, when I was using the what is it, the little mushroom form, I was like, why did they give this little thing fucking just crazy ass cheeks?
you turn yourself into one of your little sprawlings. While you're running around in the sprawling form, you are completely and utterly invincible, so this is kind of sort of your panic button, and there will also be little
it's your
orbs
escape.
spawning that, if picked up, increase your health and shields for you and nearby allies. All in all, this does not sound all too bad, but the problem is, while you are in this sprawling form, you can essentially not do anything to the enemies, and in addition, this whole invincibility thing that it gives you isn't really all too powerful because of Noko's passive that I want to talk about next. See, what Noko's passive makes is that if you take fatal damage, then if you have no mushrooms on the field, you're just gonna die instantly. But if you have at least one mushroom on the field, then you're not gonna die, but instead, you're also gonna turn into a sprawling, and if you manage to run towards a mushroom before the timer runs out, you're just gonna come back to life, and not just that, you're also gonna be given a generous, I think 7 or 8 seconds of complete and utter invincibility.
Oh wait, is that how long that was? Oh, dude, I never paid attention how long that invincibility was.
So yeah, if you ask me, there's not really a point in using your third ability to become invincible in a tricky situation. You could just let yourself die, run to the next mushroom, and come back to life with the help of your passive.
I can understand that take, but I think if you're someone that really pays attention to your health, you would kind of want to use that. But I think if you're someone that tends to not pay attention to the to um to the upkeep of your first and second ability of of the stink brain or the or the bonnet, then I can see why the third ability could save your ass. It certainly has for me a few times, but then again, I think getting used to throwing down your what is it your stink brain or bonnet consistently. I think that'll help a lot, and definitely using like a lot of continuity or duration for the character. I think that's mainly what the character is based on, like duration.
But what is definitely very, very necessary is his fourth ability, Spore Spring, because this one is, without exaggeration, one of the most ridiculous damage-dealing abilities in
And
the
it
entire
keeps scaling,
game.
bro.
When you activate it, you also throw out one of these balls. However, this one does not grow a mushroom, but rather bounces around in the vicinity. To be precise, a total of 10 bounces before it disappears.
Bro, you get 25 crit chance with each bounce. So it'll just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking.
Whenever it bounces on one of your mushrooms, it also makes them pulsate faster as if you jump onto them. However, what's much more interesting is it can also bounce on enemies, and if it does that, it deals a ton of toxin damage, also
Dude,
force
it gets
a toxin
red
status
crits.
effect.
That's
And not just
insane.
that, this is one of the very rare abilities that actually can crit with a base crit chance of 100%, so it always crits. The crit damage multiplier, I don't know. We're probably gonna have to wait for the wiki entry because I couldn't find it anywhere. However, with every bounce, the crit chance increases by another 25%, meaning with the last bounces, this bad boy is gonna deal red crits, which is crazy if you think about it. And what would also be crazy is if you could maybe give the video a like, because it always helps me big time with the YouTube algorithm. So cheers so much for your support. But yeah, that would be it for his abilities. Before we jump into the builds though, let's also quickly talk about how to actually play him in practice. See, when the mission starts, the first thing I would recommend is put down your 2 and jump a bit on it to max out your energy right off the bat. This will also give you the ability strength bonus, so if you have a helmet ability that requires ability strength, I would make sure to cast it while still under the influence of this buff. And once you get into combat, the only thing you really need to do is spam your mushrooms and throw out your 4 to absolutely annihilate everything. That's literally all you need to do. If you take fatal damage, just go to one of your mushrooms and you come back to life, and whichever weapons you use, or if you want to use them at all, that's completely up to you. But now, let's come to the chapter that you've all been waiting for, and that would be the build section. In today's video, I have 2 different builds prepared for you, with a little bit of variation. The first one is the maximum damage build that just annihilates absolutely everything, and the second one is a variation of it that is more focused on supporting the team and crowd controlling the enemies. Let's start out with the Big Bada Boom build though, where first of all, I want to get back to the 4th ability and the fact that it crits. This is actually the most important factor about the entire build. Here's what I mean. See, while at this point in time, we do not know what the critical multiplier of these hits is, the fact alone that they crit means we can use flat crit damage buffs to massively amp up the damage that this deals. For example, if we use a companion that has a weapon with a minimum of 50% crit chance, we can put Tenacious Bond onto the companion, which will increase our crit damage by 1.2x. And secondly, there is a very beloved arcane of mine called Arcane Crepuscular, which makes it that whenever you're invisible, you're A, gaining ability strength, and B, you get another flat 3 times crit damage bonus on top, meaning if you stack both of these crit damage bonuses, you're gonna have plus 4.2 times more crit damage,
Damn.
regardless on what the base is. So even if the base crit damage multiplier of the 4 was very low, going for these two bonuses skyrockets our damage into Oblivion.
Jesus
That is a mechanic
Christ.
that we're definitely gonna take advantage of with this build. Let's look at how to do this. First of all, let's talk about our Helminth ability, where we have multiple options of course, but I have two definite favorites here. The first one would be relatively uncreative in the form of Roar,
Yeah, choose
which
Roar.
not only increases the base damage of our ability, but also counts as faction damage bonus, and given the fact that you force proc Toxin with your 4, even if the enemy doesn't instantly die from the flat damage, this makes the ensuing Toxin procs even stronger, so if you want to have the biggest numbers, I think Roar would be the one to go for. However, as we initially said, the 4 deals damage by having this ball bounce between enemies, and if you pull the enemies closer together, that means the ball bounces faster between the enemies and emits its damaging AoEs in much more of a rapid succession. So what we can also do is just use a grouping ability. This is viable too.
Ensnare.
However, when you want to go for a grouping ability, I would definitely recommend making it Chorus Ensnare, because for whatever reason, if you throw the ball at an enemy and the enemy is currently in a ragdoll status, then the ball will not trigger any hit and just bounce away without dealing damage, which means if you go for Mag's Pull or Nidus's Larva, then the enemies get ragdolled and your ball will just not hit them at all.
That's wild.
Not sure if that's intentional, however, that is how it is at the point of...
I think this will be something that will get fixed later, definitely, because I think if I think the what is it, the ball should prioritize hitting the mushrooms, maybe first, probably. If it's like near it or something like that, then it should prioritize the mushroom, that because that's the one that's really gonna be fully utilized.
Making this video, and if you go for Ensnare, that they're not ragdolled and the ball can instantly deal damage once it makes contact.
Yeah, because it's stupid, because why should that be any bit different when they're ensnared and not ragdolled, like and then has a different interaction with our ragdolled. That's very weird.
But another thing that you could potentially do would be not use a Helminth ability for the grouping, but instead the Sciatid as your secondary weapon. This one can group up the enemies for you, and that would give you the ability to have both Roar as your Helminth ability plus the grouping at the same time. Let's also take a look at the Archon shards, where this one is actually pretty straightforward. We're gonna go with 2 Tau Forged yellows for the casting speed. If you wanted to, 2 normal yellows would also do, but like I would go for a bit of casting speed because it makes you throw out all those balls just significantly faster and it's much more convenient.
This is
Next,
true.
I went for 2 red ones. These 2 here are into ability duration because genuinely I don't think we need much more strength, right? The damage is high enough and duration is just more comfy, but they're kind of flex slots. You don't necessarily need them. You could replace them with anything else. And in the final one, I went for a green shard that increases the amount of corrosive procs that we can deal to a maximum of 13, allowing us to almost full strip enemy armor, and we're gonna get back to that as we talk about the build now. This right here would be one example build for the maximum damage approach. As we previously said, we go for Arcane Crepuscular to give us plus 3 times final crit damage. However, you need to be invisible to gain this effect. Invisible while there are enemies nearby and you're not using for you. Then there's a placeholder right here. Energy, the 4 in turn then will buff with transient extended strength for no card, so we can inflict even. Not sure if this is supposed corrosive. It's sort of similar, right? Kind of sort of the same. Before we end the video, I also have a second build which is kind of sort of similar, right? Kind of sort of the same. This one, I called it more of a support build because we don't go for all that much ability strength. You can also subsume whichever skill you want. This build mainly focuses on supporting the team with your 2 mushrooms right here, and that's also why we have max
Continuity, blind rage, cutting drift, power donation. Oh wait, it does sound familiar.
maximum range, a lot of duration in comparison to the previous build, and we also make Noko a little bit more shield tanky by going for Primed Redirection as well as Adaptation and Arcane Aegis. This way we can keep Noko alive a bit longer, make the whole thing more convenient. All in all though, I would say the invisible damage dealing build is by far the coolest option to play him.
Bro, I just saw 100 million just pop up on the screen. Yep. 101 million. Oh yeah, you can good. I believe someone did like 1 billion damage or some shit like that. I think there was one time that someone did so much damage, it just showed like exclamation marks.
Option to play him.
Game couldn't even register the amount of damage that person did. Because the game was like, okay, so I thought about doing the same thing for him and putting like shield related things. But definitely has to be subsumed, not subsumed, for mud. Okay. Okay. What should I put on Noko? Alright, well, I subsume. Okay. Let me subsume an ability. Ooh, what can I put on him? Blood altar, no. Desecration, no. Eclipse? I don't think so. Wait, what, Williams? I told this to the other two, but wait, but you a mushroom guy, and an Echo VTuber have something in common. What's that? Want to know what that is? What's that, Williams? Sadly, Smite doesn't work as it used to anymore, so this is not gonna work. Sinking Pulse, oh, that's not gonna work either. Wait, no. I might have an idea. Ooh, void damage from for all attacks from equipped weapons. Oh, it's only equipped weapons. Dark Verse, Defy, Elemental Ward. Diminish Strength Slash and stagger enemies with the Crystal Blast. Well, you still get the okay. I might have an idea, but either it could be two things. It could be absolutely stupid, or it can work. I think it's gonna be stupid, but it can work. Oh, god damn it, I lost it. Where was it? Banished, eclipse. Oh, here it is. Let me try this one. Let me put it on A. All three of y'all use female VTuber models. Yeah, of course, it's because they're the best. And by default, yeah, that's true. And who I considered when it comes to reactions, I send in. Oh, okay. I call y'all. I call y'all the Bon Bon Niku boys. Why that? Na, 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 na. I just duplicated the B configuration into A because I didn't want to fucking put all the things there. I didn't want to move them, so I just put them right here. Okay, the one I'm about to go for is gonna be stupid, but maybe it'll work. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so I do have some of these. I mean, I could either use that, but I kind of don't want to. At least not right now. The fucking the Bamba Niku boys. The fucking goddamn it, Williams. Beam. Beam.
Up to.
Listen, the machines are coming to life. There's Kuva in the air.
The resonance frequency has changed. You're onto something, Tenno. We can't leave without rescuing the prisoner. Keep searching.
What was I thinking? I never should have put my food in charge of something this important.
If you don't know, Bamba Niku, what a term for it, what they term for is for guys who are virtually female, like Rev, for example. Oh, okay.
That worked. Your operator form is key. Target the holy clouds. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Use your operator form to strike those Kuba clouds.
Gotta imagine that's what we just call ourselves. What's the trap thing?
That's it. It will be a perfect specimen. Trap it so you can synthesize it for me.
You useless balls of festering flesh. You let them destroy my Kuva site.
Good work, Tenno. We need to do everything we can to stop the Queens from gathering any more Kuba.
Nice.
You are surrounded.
We got him, guys. Idiot. I'll be honest with you, I did not know they even had a term for that. That lets you know that it happens so frequently that they had to come up with a name for it.
You are approaching the holding area. Careful. If the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate the execution sequence. This is the jail. Our hostage is in one of these cells. Thank the stars, not a minute too soon. You've located the hostage. Escort the prisoner to the extraction point, and I'll take care of the rest. Weapon for me? I've got some scores to settle.
Yes. Yes, my headphones. Oh my god, bro. Where's the other guy at? I don't even know if he was even moving.
Captive has been secured. You've done your part, Tenno. We'll take it from
I don't think he was. I gotta do survival for 5 minutes? Well, this is for like over 2,000 kuva, so why not?
You must provide cover for a lone Tenno operative. Set off the alarms and keep the infested busy. Those are the Queen's braids. What are they up to?
Ugh, what?
Look at this. A dreamer sleep stumbling onto my Kuva siphon? Wait, what is it doing?
No time to ask questions. Destroy that thing. A steady stream of toxic spores is being released into the area. Hold on. Emergency life support is inbound. You need a new approach. You're not making a dent.
Hello. I am detecting a synthesis target. Use the synthesis scanner to track the creature.
Double, double, toil and trouble. The puppets dance while the chamber bubbles. What a waste.
Nice.
Get ready for a capsule.
Dude, that's only up for like 2 seconds.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time. That worked. Your operator form is key. Target the other Kuba clouds.
Kind of wish the more kuva that it captures, the more that you'll get, but it doesn't work like that at all.
Life support on the way. Additional
Dude,
life
that doing
support has
1.1
arrived.
million is crazy. Da-na-na-da-na, ba-na-da, ba-na-da.
Another life support capsule is now available.
There you go.
There it is. Right for synthesis. Tame this creature so you may perform the synthesis I require.
When you are ready, go to extraction.
Oh, dude, you cast that so fast. Holy shit.
Another job well executed.
Nice. Another 2,500. Happy 80th. All right, let's do my daily. Intermission. Oh no, interception. Okay, though these are, well, I mean, the interception will be like the slowest, but it would all go pretty quick. He is the dark side of all of us. Look at that, the Mr. Sister Fister. Dude, this guy's just easy to use. Like, he is, if you want to use a brain dead character, Atlas is the way to go. Like, he's just so, like, they don't even have to do much for this character. Like, it's such a fucking brain dead character to use. Which is why I like using him, because it's just so simple.
We have located the enemy's planetary
All right,
communication
let's get it.
towers. Capture the towers and remain in control long enough to decode incoming messages. We are in total control. Keep fighting.
Oh my god. Come here. Try to touch that. Maybe touch that butt.
We have lost control of a tower.
Dude, they keep trying taking D, bro.
We are dominating. Keep it up.
Fuck out of here.
Power lost. We have successfully decoded the message. Clear the area. I have detected another message incoming. Capture and decode the signal.
All right. Now you wait. Nah. I'll be honest with you. They got to do something about the Rumblers. So why are they here?
Tower online.
I think they should scale by your what is it, by your combo multiplier.
Enemy have captured a tower.
Come on, Bumble. Come on, Bumble Rumblers.
The enemy have taken a tower. You must recapture it. Tower lost.
Dude, look how much the... Ow, 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 ow. Teammate, revive yourself.
Tower is ours now. We have control of all 4 towers.
Chaos control. Don't worry, I'll keep them off it. Dude, they are all just fucking... Okay. There you go. Easy.
The data you have collected here today will go a long way in supporting our cause.
You ever wonder who speaks for the dirt?
No.
You are not alone. This tower is full of life forms, all corrupted by the neural sentry. Clean them out. The tower's neural sentry has turned these soldiers into mindless attack drones. You need to take them out. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
All right, there it is. Dude, literally press 1. Oh, that's all you have to do. Press 1 on or use Atlas' first ability
Another job
and
well
just
executed.
everything dies.
You ever wonder who speaks for the dirt? For the untold millions of organisms living beneath your feet.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into the network. Be prepared for heavy resistance. I can't do this without you. There is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Hell yeah, let's get it.
Area completed. Move on. This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal and prepare for enemy resistance. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. We are finished here. Move on. Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
Come on, man, punch him. Pop. Look at that, 5K right there. 5K. Look at mine, 800K. Come on, Rumbler. Let's show the world the real damage you can do. Come on. Come on, Bug Rumbler. Come on. Let's see you guys do some damage. Come on, beat this guy up right here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, okay, okay, okay. He's missing. Okay, 5K, 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 70K, 5K, 5K. Hell yeah.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete. Another job well executed.
Okay, well, I guess I can't type in the game. Fuck. Dude, fucking Alice is such a brain-dead character to use. Literally just press one ability and win. Well, granted, like, technically he was kind of like that to begin with. But I think now, I mean, I don't know if he was way broken before. He probably was. But right now, you could just have things consistently and yet made significantly more simplified. Like, literally. Because all you have to do is modify this to whatever to your liking. I have it like this just for fun. You know, condition overload, of course, blood rush, so I could get a bunch of crit. I just throw in sacrificial steel, so I get a bunch of crit chance. So I kind of get, you know, practically get oranges or reds. You could definitely get red crits with some critical damage. Yeah. Yeah, since I have galvanized steel, or since I have sacrificial steel, can't put galvanized steel, so I just thought I just put organ shatter at this point, and then also putting on purple shards, yeah, purple shards to increase the critical damage. Dude, you just do crazy crits, or crit damage. And I only have 2 crystals, by the way. That the amount of damage I was doing, that's two crystals, by the way. 2 crystals, and it does that already. Dude, if I could get this up to like 3 more at least. I'm not too sure if Cassie speed will do anything. I don't know if Cassie speed will make me punch faster. I don't think it will, but would that matter if I'm doing like a million plus damage? I don't know. To me, I don't think it will, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Well, there it is, guys. There it is. Anyway, hope you guys have a good one. All right. Hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Um, Tomorrow I don't know what game we'll play. Because I think I'm kind of done with Warframe at least for a bit. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. I think tomorrow will probably be like more Elden Ring, probably. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we could do. All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I gotta get more water. Oh.